Okay, so it's Hiram again with a new update from the IRS. Yes, we have not totally gotten this shit taken care of. Originally, we had thought that we had set up a proper payment plan. We were sending in checks every month for about 5 months. And then, I believe it was 2, maybe 3 months ago, we get a letter in the mail stating that they have not been receiving their money, which is hilarious because somebody was cashing those checks. You see, we called the IRS, went and jumped through all their hoops, waited through hours of endless, terrible elevator music to finally get someone on the line who was more than eager to help us because we were in dire straits. They were going to take what I assume is my $500 worth of everything that I own. Good luck with that, IRS. Anywho, I digress. We talk with this guy, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I can set you up with a payment plan." And he walks us through the steps. And we send in the paperwork, and everything seems to be going fine for those 4 to 5 months. We get the notification that there was going to be forfeiture of assets or some bullshit. And we begin again. Oh, yes. So, we called up the IRS again. We jumped through the same hoops that got us to the original guy. And then they transfer us over to a whole different department of the IRS, which I didn't know existed. I didn't know that the IRS decided to branch itself out into various sections because the Internal Revenue Service should be dealing with taxes as a whole. In any case, we are informed that we were given what I assume is the generic phone number for the IRS, and that there is one specific phone number simply to set up payment plans. We had gotten in contact with the wrong branch of the IRS, sent our checks to the wrong branch of the IRS, who then cashed said checks, and we didn't hear a word about it until they threatened to take my shit after I was already paying them. Now, normally, I would just be freaking out, but I'm so done with it that if they come and they try taking what little bit I own, I might just sit there and laugh. Because they have been doing nothing but harass us for months. And I'm the one who has now recently called the IRS constantly. Now, this is, I think, the second day in a row that I called the IRS and nobody answered. Nobody. Second day in a row. I went and talked to H&R Block. They gave me a phone number for the Taxpayers Advocate group out in Portland. Oh, here's the glorious part. They close at 4:30. That's when I get off work. They open when I get to work. Amazing, isn't it? So, I am going to have to schedule just to make a phone call. Lose money just to make a phone call. And then eventually, if it comes down to it, have to drive out to Portland on a work day. Now, what I'm getting at in this situation is the fact that if I'm not making the money, the government's not going to get the money because I'm not going to be paying that much in taxes. So literally, the government runaround is screwing, I guess you'd say, the government over because that money is not going to the people. I am absolutely appalled by the state of our Internal Revenue Service. First of all, it's just too expensive. Second of all, it's so complex that most people have to rely on some other service to get it done, because we were not taught this in school. Yeah, higher education my ass. And I believe it's third of all. If you cannot find the time to get, to freaking pick up the phone when you have countless offices across the country, then your organization should not be operational at all. The IRS, the last person I talked to in the IRS was actually somewhere out in East Coast. And she's just like, oh yeah, we have these centers set up all over the place. So you're almost always going to get a hold of somebody until about 7 o'clock your time. Always, all you got to do is call. It's going to be fantastic. No, that's not the way it works, people. Do not believe that bullshit. The IRS is an overfunded government agency that isn't out to actually help you in any way. I should know. I have been dealing with this shit for months. And now we finally got a letter in the mail saying that in a month, they will come and start seizing my assets because these assholes couldn't get their shit together. I'm the one who's spent months trying to give them my money. Does this sound insane? Does this sound like the way any revenue service should be run? The people want to give them money, but the government can't spend the time of day to make it happen. Yeah, I'm pissed. And I'm going to do everything in my power to fix this situation. But I might have to post a video in a month or two of them coming in and stealing my shit when they're the ones at fault.